Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Lion's Den with Seth. Hopefully, everything is going good with you right now on this time on today. So if this is your first time tuning in, what we do here at the Lion's Den, we have conversations about all things leadership, growth, and development, right? From within the household, in the community, and beyond that. And what we help to do is hopefully encourage you to get from outside of this space, right, this digital space, and get outside and do the things that you need to do and be about that life, right? So we want to thank you for tuning in. Hit the share button no matter where you are, and as a matter of fact, wherever you are, if you're hearing this voice, make sure you tune in and chime in and say, let us know where you are right now. We want to give you a special shout out. And if you are on Facebook or on YouTube, hit the subscribe, make sure you follow us, but let us know where you're at so we can give y'all some love. All right, let's do it. Big Nate, what's popping, man? How you feeling?
I'm doing well. How you doing, brother?
Man, you know what, it's all right, man. Had a busy week, but trying to get over it. Feel like a little bit of yuckness, I think, because Mother Nature's been kind of bipolar, you know what I'm saying? So just trying to get over that, man. But all is well, man. How's your weekend so far?
Man, it was great, man. You know, just laying low, like I do, and just rested up. And you know, I'm not as much of a ambassador as you, man, because I know you got your hands in a lot of things, man. So I get to rest up, you know, do my thing, and then get ready to tackle this upcoming week, because I know it's going to be busy.
You know what I hate about what people do? Hey, brother, hey, I wish I was out there like you, man. Hey, look, I see you out there doing it, bro. We both doing it. You just don't, so I guess what it is, you toot mine before you toot yours. You don't want to. Look, what's going on, everybody? So where y'all tuning in at? Where y'all watching at? What's going on, James? All right, let us know. Hey, Big Herm, what you doing, bro?
Man, I'm trying to share. You know, I'm sharing the information out here for all the people.
Hey, wait, can you do it? You out of jail though, right?
I'm out of jail though. I'm not going back. I ain't going back.
Hey, check it out. Old buddy be going to church singing. Right,
hey, man.
Hey, from the back, now he in the front.
It's funny what a good woman will do to you, change your life. Is that what it is?
Man. Hey, y'all go ahead. You dig what I'm saying?
Man, yo, it's hoodie season, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You know, I get to break out the lines then with, you know what I'm saying, hoodie. Yeah, you know,
original. Yeah.
Man, my weekend is going pretty good. You know, I got to witness the Vols beat Florida. You know what I mean? The Titans doing well. You know what I'm saying? Even though we still struggling, but we winning. We up to 500. So you know, Nate can relate. You know what I mean? So right now it's great to be from Tennessee. You know what I mean? That's really what it all boils down to. But I do want to give a shout out to my job over here. I'm the director for the Cleveland Recreation Center. Man, we just put on an awesome event. Good. For breast cancer awareness, man.
There it is.
We had them, bro, let me tell you something, man. When we had them, we had 12 ladies in there that were survivors, right? Mm-hmm. And they gave their testimonies and stuff like that. There wasn't a dry eye inside the building when these ladies were talking, except mine, because, you know, I'm always be a gangster. Never. But you know what I'm saying?
Not yet.
Bro, I'm trying to.
Meta life.
I'm trying to tell you guys, man, that event right there. Yeah. Shout out to, you know, the Distinguished Steppers Unlimited, NAACP Clarksville, you know what I mean? And also, of course, Parks and Rec Clarksville for putting on that event, man. It was beautiful. It was great to be part of something like that.
You know what, man? Yeah, dope. And you know what, too? I think you finally, after job 12, I think this is
Oh
about it. What you think?
man, yo, people thought I was Jamaican for a second, man.
I do.
All the
No, because look, you wouldn't have all the jobs at one time. You just say, you know what? What's today? Wednesday? I'm done with this.
I mean, when you retired, you know what I'm saying? You got your disability. I mean, you ain't got to put up with nothing if you don't want to, dog.
Yo, can moonwalk straight out the door.
You want me to work what shift? Oh,
right?
Okay. Well, I'm out of here. You know what I mean?
I'll be right back. Let me go check my
schedule. No, I was just playing. We don't have to put I'm not. Hey, don't play with me. You know what I'm saying? Right. I'm gone. You know what
I mean? That's real though. And I'm trying to be like y'all, man. We trying to be like Titans, not the Lions.
Yeah,
hey,
you know
so
you know the funny thing about what I can do. The funny thing what I can do when people start talking trash about you did, bruh. Anyway, all right. Now you want to go ahead and get it in, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah, let's go ahead, man. Let me tell y'all, often that everyone knows out there that I have a twin brother, right? What people don't, I have additional siblings, and my brother, who people often don't see, is my brother Corey Jackson. So this brother has such a unique story. You know, I grew up in a single family household. We share the same biological being. I always wanted a bigger brother, right? Of the numerous programs, Big Brothers, Big Sisters, Upward Bound, just all these extracurricular activities. But that was the one thing that I was always yearning for, which is, that brother type. So my mother always told me this, like, hey, you have a brother in Florida in Daytona Beach, two brothers, Corey and Troy. And I was just like, wow, I would love to meet them one day. And then eventually we were able to finally meet. I would say, one thing about him is that you want to talk about resiliency. He dropped out of high school, moved out, living on his own around the age of 15, 16, and just had to, grind and get after it, had kids early on or whatever, had to be a model to them, but he always done it the right way. And I'm just so proud of him. And, he's one of the many reasons why I am with Nick and I, where we are right now is because of his, resiliency and, his continuing to, mentor us and, make sure that we stay on the straight and narrow. So happy to have him on the show and thank Lions Den for, setting this up and, we can have these conversations.
All right. Well, look, ladies and gentlemen, I want y'all to give a nice virtual warm round of applause for Corey Jackson.
Thank you, guys.
There you go. What's going on, brother? How you feeling? How you feeling down there in Florida, right?
Well, everybody know we just had this storm come through. So just foremost, thank God for letting my family and others be able to not be injured or hurt or home tore up or anything like that, because some of our loved ones and friends are in a way worse predicament than we are. Every day for the last 5 days, some of the houses they're not able to get to yet. They out there on the main roads and boats and doing everything that they can to get these loved ones out of the floods and out of the bad conditions that they're in right now. Thank you to Daytona Beach Police Department, Volusia County Sheriff Department, and everyone that's coming from here and there to help. And like I say, once again, thanks to that man upstairs for just, giving these guys an opportunity to come out here and put their life on the line to help others. So
already, we appreciate you. Yeah. So here you are, man. So you're a Jackson, okay?
Yes, sir.
Jackson.
Yes, sir.
So just very, very quickly, we're extremely proud of our brother, right? As far as the things that he's done, not just in life and wearing a uniform, but now we get to have this conversation with you, another side of just the twins, right? The double mint twins up in this moment. But here it is, right? And this is what it is. All right. Hey, go ahead, Big Herm. We're gonna let you start it off, man.
So what we're talking about today is what fatherhood, really, you know what I'm saying? And I even seen that we was going to also talk about discipline, man. So for you guys, man, we all fathers, hey man, put me on a smaller screen real quick, man. I look like a well-groomed lion right here. You know what I'm saying?
You know
you know what I'm saying? My barber was a little bit too sharp, dog. You know what I mean? I'm distracted by my own beauty right now.
You know,
but
no, hold
hey.
on. You know, hey, look, let's go and fix that. All right. So anyway,
oh wow.
You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of this dude. I'm so tired of him. Man, if you don't spit it out.
Yo, hey.
See, you know what it is. Look,
so let's talk about fatherhood and open it up with, you know what I'm saying? Because I keep hearing a little bit of what Nate's talking about, biological being and stuff like that. So I don't want to get too personal into them, but we know, us men, we know what fatherhood looks like, right? You know what I'm saying? So I want to talk about what fatherhood means to you guys. Let's start off with that so we can get into this fatherhood conversation.
Well, me personally, I was always told from others, it's a trend that we had to follow. And I said to myself, I'm not going to be anything like this so-called father of mine, dad, or whatever he, I can't give him that title because he wasn't there for me. I'm just going to keep it real. I end up meeting my brothers at a football game. They came down here for a youth football game. I found out that they was in town. I took them up under my wing from day one. But me, I had to stop that trend. My brother had to stop that trend because I wanted to be a father for my kids. I say once I bring someone into this world, they got to see me every day from day one. So that's what I took on. So I had to stop that, making false promises and things like that. It wasn't going to work like that with me. So,
what you got, Nate? What's fatherhood for you, man?
Yeah, it's exactly just that, right? It's being physical. You know, when you take a look at, I just had a conversation, with my family, and I'm just so proud, of my children. And I said, you know what, it's a blessing that, in a household, both parents, can be there for their kids. And that's what it's all about. It's simply just all about just being present and, providing them the tools and resources, to be successful. So that's my answer in a nutshell.
Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead, Herm.
Oh, you go ahead, bro. I got it right after you.
All right. So, you know what? It's kind of funny too, right? But look, shout out to that question, man, and everybody else that's out there too. What does fatherhood mean to you? I think that's a very, very deep question because based off of how you were raised and how you view your father is going to be the determining factor of how you view yourself, either in a positive or negative fashion, right? But here I am, I have an 18-year-old son. And the crazy part is I did not feel like a father until I had a daughter. Oh, goodness gracious alive. You see what I'm saying? Because I had to realize that now, whatever it was that I was doing, she's going to look at me as a representation of the man or the type of men that she's going to interact with and the way that I treat her or how she see me treat her mother, right? So it's very, very, very important then. And that's when I kind of woke up. So then what happened was I had to let go of the past as far as my thought processes that I had about my father and his lack thereof of being in my life and make sure that I was present in this young lady's life. You get what I'm saying? So that's how it was for me.
Yes, sir.
Man, I think a lot of times people need to get feedback from their kids about how you doing as a father, right? You know what I mean? When you think you might think you checking all the boxes. I'll give myself for an example, right? Me and my ex-wife, we've been living separately, you know what I'm saying, for a long time, especially me being in the military. And, I'm providing everything monetarily, right? And I talk to my kids on the phone, but I was never really physically there. Saw them once, twice a year. You know what I mean? But I'm thinking you know what I'm saying, since I'm giving them everything so I can do without, I'm so they can have and I just have to do without, I'm thinking I'm doing it, right? I fast forward, I retire out the military. Now my kids are upstairs now. My kids see me every day now, just about, you know what I'm saying? At least now how we got it set for every weekend. And when I talk to my kids, man, they tell me, you know what I'm saying, you weren't never really there. You know what I mean? And that's tough. You know what I mean? Even though I provided for them and I, was always communicating with them, me not physically being there. Like Nate said, man, it's physical. Me not physically being there affected them. You get what I'm saying? It affected them to where they felt like, man, I wasn't there. You know what I mean? So I think people need to get out of their own bubble of, you know what I'm saying? I'm father of the year or mother of the year, and actually talk to their kids to find out what they might be missing.
Bro, yeah, that makes sense. What you think about that, Nick?
No, spot on. Because often at times we don't know what parenthood is like. We don't know. Many people can sit up at a book and say, "Hey, this is what you need to do. This is how you need to do it." But until it actually takes place, it's like trying to ride a bike. So yeah, that's spot on. We have to seek that feedback, because if we don't, we're losing them each and every day right in front of our own presence, and us thinking that everything is okay when it's actually not.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Well, guys, if it's okay for me to jump in there, what Sonny said, he was sending money, so he was thinking everything okay. I looked at it in a different way, where me being present mean more than anything I can go and buy them in this rural. I was going to join the military. I was going to go into the Navy. Had them filled out all my paperwork and everything. Once I found out that I was going to have a kid, all that stopped, because I missed that part of having my biological there for me. So I didn't want to go through that, knowing that I had a kid out here and I couldn't be there every day. So I stepped back and said, hey, I got to look at it in a different way, but I didn't have someone there to say, hey, you can still do it, or give me that knowledge. I had to learn that, like, damn, I could have still did it, but I didn't, but I was there from the day that my kids was a breath in this rural. I've been there. I have 3 kids of my own. I have a 22-year-old, a 20-year-old, and my daughter will be 9 next week, so.
You know what? I think that's cool. And I think that's good. Now I'm about to go flip it, right? Because not all situations are ideal. So when we're talking about men, right, and boys to men, there's times when you have made decisions as young men, maybe like boys, and then you realize, hold on, this wasn't the best decision. Case in point, there was a situation where I wanted to make sure that I was in my son's life. However, if I was truly thinking about what that all entailed, it would have been more damaging with me being in his life because of the situation between him and his mother. So I had to really make sure I surround myself with individuals that understood what it meant to be a father that was not physically there, but still being present, because not everybody has that liberty. You get what I mean? Now, don't get me wrong. You can try until what I'm talking about, and try, but people got to be on the same page. Now, let's talk about that. Big Nate, what you think about that, though, in that situation?
Yeah, it's tough. So my question for you, I want to flip it back to you. How has the aftermath been with your connection between you and your son?
You know what?
Because
yeah, it's a strain. It's a strain. The reason why is because he's not here all the time, and so the things that he's learning and the things that he's feeling is not necessarily a nurturing type of thing from me. So it has to be more of an informational type of, but then also too, we both have to be on the same page where we want to learn and listen to each other, because I have to realize that without me being there, it's not like, yo, I'm your daddy, do this. Wait, hold on, no. Let's have a different relationship, because the situationship, if you will, is different. Now, if he was up in the crib, it'd be something totally different. You get what I mean? But I believe when those fathers aren't in the picture physically, but they're there with an open mind and an open heart, I think that helps.
And let me add on to that as well. Is it strained between both the son and his sister? Right, like with you having a more deep relationship in your daughter's life compared to your relationship in your son's life, does he hold that? Does he hold that against you?
I can't say that he does. I can only assume, because if the tables was turned, I know how I would feel. All right, now let's be for real. We can go back to the McDonald's thing. Remember that?
Heck yeah.
McDonald's. Yeah. So now if I see somebody getting McDonald's and then here you are just giving me fake McDonald's by hamburgers and white bread, you know what I mean? Of course, I'm a feel away. You get what I'm saying? However, I think it's my responsibility to be able to communicate what love is, and make that a verb. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. What you think, Herm?
Man, I think with that, man, because like you said, everybody can't live the ideal situation. You know what I mean? It just can't happen. Some people get locked up. Some people, you know what I'm saying? You know, the spouse decides, or the ex-spouse decides to move away. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
There's all kind of different things that can happen. But you know what I'm saying? It's up to that person to do what they can to make sure they still stay present in the child's life. You know what I mean? And again, I felt like I was doing that. You know what I mean? But I was missing the mark somewhere with my girls, and they let me know that. You know what I mean? So now, you know, like since I've been retired again, they with me all the time, and even that was an adjustment.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because before, when I had them once a year, I was just a fun parent. You know what I mean? But now, you know what I'm saying, I had to, since I only seen them once a year, it's like, you know, I didn't really want to do the discipline and all that stuff because I only got them a couple of weeks. You know, so now it's like they see a whole other side.
There it is.
You know what I mean? So it took some adjusting.
Yeah. So look, Big Corey, man, what was one of the, I guess, the hardest part for you being a father at a young age? What would you say was been the most, the pivotal point?
Trying to learn and make sure I didn't make any mistakes. I think that was the hardest part. Just being young, like I say, I left my mom and my stepdad house at the age of 14. So it was a lot to learn at a young age. So I grew up really fast on different levels, you know. So once I knew I was going to become a father, a dad, I had to cut a lot of people off, so-called friends, and I just knew that I wanted to be there. I had to be there, number one, for my kids, you know. So,
Man, so you said you left the house at 14 years old?
yes, sir.
Yeah. Now, so I'm gonna assume at that point the relationship with your parents and was strained at that point. Has it been able to get better to where, you know what I'm saying, you can be able to take your kids over there and everything?
Yes,
and
yes.
Do you realize now that you're a parent, maybe some of the things that was going through with you?
Yes. And I also, like I said, my stepdad, I consider that as my dad. We end up losing him last year. You know, and like I say, every day I know he's looking down on me and blessing me. It was a lesson for him too, coming into a situation. My mom had a total of 6 kids. So being a man to come in and take 4 of us wasn't his, you know, so we were stepkids, 2 of them was his. So coming in as a man to take care of somebody else's responsibilities, it was hard on him as well. You know, we sat down and we had a talk as well. As I got older, I was able to understand a lot of things that what took place. It was a lesson learned for him as well, you know, so I don't blame him for anything. That made me a better person, made me a strong, be the man that I am today. So, like I say, we all go through things, but you have to learn from them, you know. So,
absolutely. Hey, shout out to Courtney Jones. He says, as a father, we can only do the best we can based on the situation we're in. I'm in Herman Brown's situation, but I also have a son that I see every day. My daughters only get my daughters only get me during the summers, holidays, and birthdays. Shout out to you, man. Thanks for the comment. And you know, that's what it is, right? And I believe too, to our point, I believe the case is doing the best that you can with what you have, right? I think that is extremely, extremely important. Go ahead, Big Nate.
Yeah, I appreciate Courtney Jones for sharing that. And, you know, I want to go back to Corey real quick. You know, when you talk about, you know, being on your own, saying you left, you know, moms in them house at 14, you know, talk about that a little bit. Like, how hard was that for you? Because having to find your own apartment, the jobs that, you know, try to source and you know, do, how was that journey for you?
well, like I said, it's a total of 6 of us. So I have 3 older siblings than me, you know. So I was able to go a couple nights to my older brother's house, a couple nights to my sister's house, not knowing exactly how I'm going to get my next meal. There were plenty of days sitting there just walking to school in a pouring down rain, to where, you know, I just got fed up with that. But it was very hard to know, like, that, you know, it were plenty of days I wanted to just give up, you know, because it just seemed like, why is it happening to me, you know? So a lot of times I just had to step back from the situation, and like, I know it's going to be a sun at the end of this tunnel, you know. And so I just kept striving, and you know, just dealing with it. When I turned 15 years old, I went out there to start mowing grass, and I was able to get me a job. I started flipping hamburgers at Crystals. Y'all probably know it as like White Castles or anything like that, but I started flipping burgers as a crew member and became an assistant manager at Crystals, you know. So it can work. It's tough, but it can work.
Oh yeah, yeah. I believe it can. I believe anything that you want to work will. So here's a question for all of y'all, and also to our viewers out there. Have you ever been in a situation that your children look at you, right, after you trying to tell them something, and you say, well, you ain't even do this, or blah blah blah, or you ain't even that wave, and blah blah, blah. And like, for example, I'm gonna put myself out there. Do you know how many times my daughter say, Daddy, why you look so mean? I said, baby, I'm smiling. What you talking about? She's like, but you look, and here I am trying to tell her how to present herself and how to be more, you know, how to speak, you know, and at school and everything. I said, you want to put a smile on your face? She said, Daddy, you don't. Wow. So Herm, what about you, bro? How's
So,
that? Is that a situation?
it just happened today, man. I got two girls,
Mm-hmm.
15 and 13, right? And they wanted to walk around the neighborhood, go to this lake thing, and I wasn't really with it. You know what I mean? Because, man, you know, the Dahmer series just came out, all kind of crazy shit out there. You know what I mean? Yo, I'm telling you, the phone is the worst name for a parent, man, because you see all this crazy stuff pop up, and it's in your head like, man, they're just waiting around the corner to snatch my kids up. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so my daughter's like, did grandma walk you around the neighborhood so you can go outside and play? You know what I'm saying? We're 15 and 13. Because I said y'all can go as long as I go. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They're like, grandma probably didn't walk you, and they damn was right,
She
because
did.
I was all over the block. You know what I mean? But the thing was, they throw that up to my face all the time about what I probably did when I was a kid,
Mm-hmm.
and what I allowed them to do.
Right.
I said, don't blame me because my mom was irresponsible. You know what I mean? I'm doing my damn thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? My mom was a bad parent then, I guess. You know what I mean? So what you want me to do?
Yo, hey, and the internet wasn't popping like that. Hey, but you know what? The funny thing is, the crazies was always out there. What about you, Nate?
Bro, hold on. When my mom watched Unsolved Mysteries, I was grounded right after that. You know
just
what I
like
mean?
that.
Just like that. As soon as I see her watching Unsolved Mysteries, I know I'm not going outside.
I feel you. Go ahead, Nate. Hey,
No.
hey, look, hey, Mr. Dunn says it was a different world when we grew up to what it is today. Man, I really don't think
the same
so.
world.
I think it's the same thing. I just think that with technology we can see it more, but folks has always been cuckoo for cocoa. But go ahead, Nate. What you think, bro?
No, you're right about that. And my thing is, fellas, do you think it would be different, like going back to Herm case? You know, you have two daughters, right? I know you have two daughters. Mm-hmm. Do you feel if you had sons, would that be a different outlook?
You hold on. You know what? I let Corey go up and look at them golds gleaming now. He want to talk on that.
Hey, I'm gonna jump in there on that one there, because I have an older daughter and I have a son. I always wanted a son before I had a daughter, because I wanted him to be able to be ahead to make that path for his sister, but it happened the other way around. So it's yes and no, because a lot of things that my older daughter always tell me, you'll let CJ do this, but you own me. And I say, well, you're right about that, because not that they can handle themselves differently or whatever, but you're my daughter, so I know if something was to happen, I'm going to have to handle it in a different manner, you know. So that definitely is a tough question to answer. But yes, I handled it a little bit differently. I kept her up under me a little bit more than I did my son. So was that right? No, but I just wanted to shield her a little bit more than him. So
yeah, now I dig that. And here, look, let me get this up with James. He says, how different do you brothers parent sons versus daughters? So we kind of already hitting on that. He say you have one of each. So I honestly looking for feedback. Personally, I know my mother raised me and my sister different. And full disclosure, we had different fathers, right? But my mother did things, let me get away with certain things, and I found out later on she knew that I can deal with it. So I think that with our children, we know what our children can do, and we know when they kind of live behind with the common sense type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like my sister, she was ahead of me in certain things like academics and everything like that. But when it came down to the neighborhood, it's like, all right, Scooby going over there, boom. I know he knows his surroundings. You get what I'm saying? But like when my mother taught me how to find my way around, Detroit, she kind of dropped me off and gave me some money and said, go ahead, find your way back and catch the bus. I'm like, what? That's horrible parenting. Could you do that today? No, these fools is cool. But what I didn't know is that I was less than a mile away from home. She couldn't do that with my sister. You get what I'm saying? My sister would have never came back and would have disowned all of us and started her own business somewhere. You see what I'm saying? But that's us, though. What about you, Herm? What you think?
Man, absolutely. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. I don't have no boys, no sons, but I would absolutely parent them different. And man, we got to stop thinking like there's not a difference between boys and girls. You know what I mean?
It is, but why would you
because a boy needs to learn different kind of things about survival than a woman do. You know what I mean? That's as simple as that. And people think it's sexist or whatever to say, you know what I mean? But it's like, for me, for example, I was allowed to do a whole bunch of stuff my sister wasn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was allowed to maneuver around the streets and figure things out. You know what I'm saying? Be out. My sister wasn't. You know what I mean? Because you know that when a girl is out there, people are looking to take advantage of her. Ain't nobody really looking to take advantage of no boys. You know what I mean? Not really. You know what I mean? They're not really looking to get you like that. But a girl out there on the block, yeah. I mean, they ain't nothing but bait.
Okay, but I feel this though, and everybody that's listening, now we about to flip it like this, okay? Do you still want to teach your daughters, right? This is for men, right? We're brothers here, right? And somebody chimed in, I don't know the name, but it says survival is needed for both. Right. So what I'm going to say is, can we talk to our daughters as far as, don't wait for no man in a way, right? Because what I don't want my daughter to do is be on the side of the road, not knowing how to change her tire, I'm talking about not knowing how to find herself, situational awareness. Now, of course, I'm not going to go in the backyard. Come on, Nuck, if you buck, come on, I'm gonna show you how to fight like that. Slap boxing and shit. We ain't gonna do that. But I still want her to know that I got your back no matter what, but I'm going to give you everything you need. So you don't say, well, I don't have a man to do. See?
No, I agree with that.
No, I agree with that. I'm gonna teach. I teach my daughter how to be independent, right? But I'm also, going to lead the way and let her know how a man should be treated, how you should be treated by a man. So she's gonna get both, elements, right? And go back to her point. It's not sexism or anything like that. It's culture. We know. It's in society that, hey, you're going to treat you're going to raise a daughter this way. You're going to raise a man, this way. Your firstborn is going to get the brunt of everything, while the secondborn is going to get, the lesser, turmoil or whatever that happens or whatever. It's just that happens, all the time or whatever. But yeah, I am going to treat my daughter, differently than I am my son. And we don't have the best relationship, and my son has let me know a few things as well. But, I tell him my reason why and why I do what I do or whatever. So,
yeah. Like some things I'll probably take off my daughter, but my son probably get hit in the chest for that. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, it's just going to be different. You know what I mean?
Horrible. Damn shame, bro. Man, listen, look.
I almost said something.
Hey, part of that. Look, it's out of your Korean side, dog. You need to hone in on the more loving side.
I almost said something, boy. Well, go ahead. I'm gonna get back in Facebook jail messing with y'all.
I know what you about to say. Hey, but the deal is, so Corey, now what do you think about this, man? As far as when you're raising your kids at a young age, as far as teaching them how to be a better man, okay, and just a citizen. What type of things did you instill in them?
Well, I just made sure that they saw their dad getting up, going to work every day, busting his butt to provide, to let them know this is what a man's supposed to do. Rain, sleep, snow, hell, I'm at that job. I'm grinding. There was a lot of times I leave from one job and go to another one, just to make sure that it was always a roof over their head and food on the table. And like I say, it just, like I said, I grew up real fast to be able to say, and I blame myself a lot because I was that one who always gave my kids everything because I'm like, I didn't get to have that, so I'm going to get them this. I'm going to get them the Jordans. I'm going to get them the time at the polos and this and that because I didn't have that, and sometimes it can hinder and fall back on you because if you fall down and you're not able to continue to do that, then they look at you like, well, why can't I have this and I can't have that, so it made me, like I say, it made me grow up on a whole lot, just to let them know, for my daughter, this is the type of man that you want in your life who's going to provide and actually be able to say he's a man. He's going to go to work and do what he need to do. For my son, this is what you're supposed to do, not only for yourself, but when you have a significant other, this is the way how you're supposed to treat them. This is what you do, and I just wanted to know, hey, drugs and everything was always around us. I never got a hold of that. I always sit there and say, I don't want to be that one looking over my shoulder. I gotta be there, So that's how that went, So
Yeah.
Corey, let me ask this question while it's on my mind, man. It's a personal question. Do you regret dropping out of high school?
Yes, I do, but I was able to go back and get my high school diploma. I made sure that that happened. That one piece of paper made my life so much better to be able to know that I did it. Like I said, I didn't really have someone really older than me saying, "Hey, you need to keep pushing." Yes, my brothers and stuff like that was there, but to be able to go through some of the stuff that I can pass on to others, I can sit there and say, "You can't say nobody ain't never did this." My oldest brother told me about credit. It ain't come from my mom. It ain't came from my dad. My brother told me, don't mess your credit up. Right now, today, I got an 830 credit score. Right now, coming out of the hood, I got an 830. I can go and buy whatever I want with that credit. You hear me? So, like I said, don't never, and I tell them, don't never tell nobody what you can't do. It's what you want to do. You gotta stay strong-minded, and that's that.
Yeah. You know what? And I like that we going into that, talking about education, right? How important is education for our children, even if we know we might have had our own thought processes about it, but now being fathers, we see how imperative it is, and that education within information is key to progression. You see what I'm saying? So Nate, what you think about that, man? How do you instill the importance of education with your to your kids?
Yeah, so they're real huge into sports and stuff like that, and I tell them, hey, you can't advance, your athleticism, into college if you don't have the grades, or the scores that's needed to get in. So at the end of the day, education is your number. Like, you living under this roof, education is your primary job, and making sure that they get it done. Now, I will the stipulation. I don't encourage, my kids, to go to college, right? I tell them, I say, hey, if college is not for you, learn a trade, right? Like, just do what you love, so therefore you can love what you do. If you love what you're doing, you're never working a day in your life, right? So that's my approach to what I tell my kids.
All right. Go ahead, Herm. What you think, bro?
I think education is important, even though I didn't go to college or anything. I went straight to the military. But see, my kids, it's like what Corey was talking about. Your kids watch you for an example. First, I'm gonna give a shout out to Kim, man, with her comment. Yeah, girls do need to learn to provide for themselves and not have to depend on a man. That's absolutely true. they do need to know that, you know what I mean? So I just wanted to acknowledge that real quick. But back to the education part. I want my kids to go to college. You know what I mean? I think that it's important for them to do, because you have a significant, now being retired, man, I see how much of a difference it is. You know what I'm saying? When you don't have that degree and when you do have it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm over here looking at jobs like, I could do that job. Well, no, I can't. I ain't got that degree. You know what I mean? It's like, damn, you know what I mean? So it's like, I think that short-term suffering right in the beginning for them to get their degree is important, because once you got it, they can't take it away from you. My kids like, I go straight to the military like you did. Well, I don't want you to, I mean, that's an option, but I don't want you to just do that. You know what I mean? Have that set in your mind. The military is going to be there. Let's try to get this degree first.
There you go. All right. So now we're about to transition to this right here. And it's kind of on that same line, but we're going to flip this too. How do you all communicate your standards? And what I mean by that, as far as education and their in life, right? Like, what I don't want my daughter to feel is though that my standard for her is so high that she can't reach it, even though my standard for her is for her to be the best version of herself, and I'm gonna love her anyway. But the way I say it, she feel like, oh, well, I better get an A or daddy gonna be mad at me. You see what I'm saying? So it's a balance there. So Corey, how do you communicate your standard, but also still the balance of love in that standard for your children?
Well, it's funny that that you asked me that question. My oldest daughter, like I said, once again, she's 22. She just had a daughter. I'm a grandfather. She turned 1, and I told my daughter, I said, listen, don't let this stop you to progress to be even a better mother than what you can be. You know, I say, don't depend on nobody. Don't depend on no man. Don't know nothing against the daddy or whatever, but don't depend on the baby daddy. You have to do it for your daughter, because one thing about it, the daddy not going to never let you go without anything, but to let her be a strong woman on her own. Sometimes I let her go through certain things, and I had to learn how to lean back and let her not always say, oh, my daddy going to be there, or my daddy going to run for me and stuff like that. For a while, I was always, every time the phone rang, I'm running for her. And then it started bringing confusion in my household. So I had to start leaning back and like, you know what? She has to learn this. I'm not going to let her go through it, but I'm just going to lean back and see if she's going to figure it out on her own. So
there you go. And I love that. What you got, Herm? I see you.
Man, he's absolutely 1000% correct. Yeah. Because while we can, you know what I'm saying, provide that short-term fix to their problem, if they always think, I mean, that goes for friends and everybody, you know what I mean? But with your kids, you know what I'm saying, because it's hard, because it's hard. You don't want to see your kids struggle.
Right.
You know, but if you continue to do that, man, there's grown folks that don't know how to do a damn thing for themselves. Bruh. You know what I mean? There's people out there that don't know how to do the basic thing, you know what I'm saying, that a grown adult is supposed to know, because their parents always doing it. They continue to do it for them right now. Right. You know what I mean? So, man, Corey, man, hey, that is 1000% spot on, because you got to let your child go through that stuff so they can get that dirt on them and know what that feels like, and know now that they can fix it themselves.
That's right.
So when I'm dead and gone, I can rest easy knowing that, oh yeah, they got it.
Yeah. Application.
Yes, sir.
What you think, Nate?
Yes, sir.
Same thing Herman Corey said, right? They have to be able to fail, right, in order to realize, you know, to be able to bounce back. When you talk about how we're able to outline our standards, we have to be able to talk to them, not at them, at their level, right? So I can't sit up there, and if my daughter is in the 5th grade, talking to her on some collegiate shit, you know, like saying, hey, you know, you need to be doing A, B, and C. Well, I need to be focused on where you're at right now, and how do we build moving forward, you know, from where you are to the next year. Not talking about 5 years, 7 years from now, but, you know, and let's outline those mistakes, and let's talk about, you know, how do we progress moving forward using your own solutions of what you feel is right, not mine.
There you go. And you know what, honestly, too, I believe that that's one of the hardest things, because to Herm's point, we don't want to see them suffer. However, that love, that true love, right? That true love is giving them the room to figure out life on their own. Now, here's another one. Here's another one. Y'all still sitting down. I see you, Corey. You walking around there. You get ready for this one. Here's this one right here. Brothers and sisters out there, y'all can chime in. But how do you articulate who God is to your children? The reason why I say that is because if we don't know, if we don't know what and who God is for us, but they look to us, okay, as a source, but they see what we do, they hear what we say, and they feel how we interact with individuals, what type of goal do we have to communicate what God is? I want y'all to think about that. And if it's important to you, because some individuals are hands off, like, look, God is God. You find him your way. I had to find him my own. Are we going to push the way I was raised, the way I was indoctrinated, if you will, right? If my mama was a Christian, I'm a Christian, so you go be a Christian. I don't care until you out my house, you go be a Christian. You get what I'm saying? You better sit there. You know what I'm talking about? And it's just Kwanzaa for now on because I was so beat over the head with the damn Bible every day. I'm not going to force this down your throat. So how do y'all do that? Herm, what you think, bro? Because I know you going back in church now, and I think your draw stopped catching on fire. So since you have been there,
I'm gonna be honest. Like I don't do that. You know what I mean? Because again, I'm new, getting back into church my own self. And I have my own struggles with it. You know what I mean? So I know that their mom does that. You know what I mean? They talk about God and stuff like that all the time. Every time I turn around, there's some God stuff going on over there. You know what I mean?
Wait,
but
God stuff? Is that what
something on TV about God and all this other kind of, you know what I'm saying? That's their mom is big into that type deal. You know what I mean? My wife is big in the church. Uh-huh. For me, I'm just not getting back into it. And, I let the church utilize my vocal talent to be in the choir. You know what I mean? That's my extent. You know what I mean? So as far as me sitting there, what y'all looking at, man? I'm just saying, man. You know what I'm saying? LeBron plays basketball and I sing. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying, like, all
right, that's it. Anyway, big see, hold on, look, that's why we can't take this food serious. You know what I'm saying? He's still gonna bring it back around to him and his so-called talent. Just out of line, man, for no reason. And listen, y'all online, don't encourage this food. You understand what I'm saying? There's a reason why he going to church on today. You know what I'm saying? But Nate, man, what you think, man? And look, the reason why I brought this up is because I hear my daughter. I mean, like I hear my daughter talk about things, and then so she was like, "Daddy, why don't you pray over your food every day?" I said, because I've already done it. Like, your prayers don't expire. I don't believe that. I don't believe every day I got to pray over the same. I don't believe that. I believe that once you said it, it's forget it. Like the cooking thing. If I believe in it, it does not expire. But it's kind of hard when she's hearing different things. You see what I'm saying? So Nate, how do you kind of how do you massage that and maneuver that?
Yeah, so I had to sort of find my way, right? When I grew up, nothing was ever pushed on me. My grandmother, Jehovah's Witness, my mother, Christian, so I used to go to the hall when I was young or whatever. And then I got away from the hall and, went the Baptist route. But I would say for me is, it's not the fact that we try to instill. I just try to let them see what it is that we're doing, right? So if it's Sunday school, if it's going to church, if it's reading the Bible, if it's introducing the Bible to them, if they have any questions, or you talk about praying over dinner, or coming together, we practice those things. We talk about not only just the importance of being baptized or whatever, but accepting the Lord and Savior into your life, into your heart. That's the key factor right there, and to take what you've learned and put that for yourself, right? Like, I can't make you do anything. I could just show you the rope. So that's, I don't know if I'm answering your question, but how I live and, what it is that we do, we make it almost a norm or a practice in hopes that, they know what is right. But we always just try to live by that key golden rule, treat others like you would want to be treated. So.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, Corey, what you think, brother?
Okay, I'm gonna sit there. We got brought up in the church as a Christian, and I'm talking about, man, when I went to church from Sunday, Wednesday, I mean, you name it, we were there. Thursday, we was there. So I didn't force it on my kids, just because of the simple fact that I don't feel like you have to go to a building to actually say you're going to church. You can have church amongst yourself, amongst 2 or 3 others, and y'all start conversating right then and there. So you don't physically have to go to a place of worship to say you're gonna, have church in you. I do have the Bible. I do know certain scriptures in the Bible and so forth. But every day I wake up, I give thanks to the Most High, because without Him, hey, tomorrow ain't promising none of us. So every time I'm able to maneuver or do something, I don't just say, "Oh, thank you, Jesus, for allowing me to go and get this new car," or whatever. I say thank. Sometimes I'm just walking down the road at work sometime, and we just have that talk, just me and him. People like, man, this guy, he in La La Land or something, but you have to sit there and know, without God, regardless of what you're going through, it's going to be even worse if you don't put Him first. Because if you put Him first, it's going to make a whole lot of different things in your life go totally different, regardless of what you can be having health problems. The doctor can sit there and tell you one thing, put it in God's hands, and He can change that right there with the blink of an eye.
So now I dig that. Now the question is, how would you feel if your kids really didn't believe that? You know what I'm saying?
And once again, I won't force it on them, but I let them know, as far as my standpoint, everything that I have, not only because I physically get up and go to work, but if I broke a leg or broke a finger, I'm not able to provide. So I always thank God first and say, hey, take control of this wheel and guide me to make sure that I'm able to continue my focus on whatever I'm doing. And I know, and like I say, it's up to them to listen. Like I say, I'm not going to force on them and sit them down and say, hey, get your iPhone and download the Holy Bible and da-da-da-da-da. No, I'm not going to do that. But I let them know, look at everything, what Daddy done been through, look at where I came from, and look at where I am. That didn't just happen because Daddy did it, or that just didn't happen because Daddy and my significant other did this. It happened because I put God first, and He helped me make this happen. Because I can have it today and it can be gone the next.
Right on. Okay, cool. All right then, brothers. Look, we're getting ready to do this final word. What you got, Big Herm?
Hey, man, first I want to say thank you to our guest host, man, Corey Jackson, for coming on. And especially all the stuff he had going on, man, down there. I really appreciate you coming on. When it comes to fatherhood, there is no right answer. You know what I mean? Everybody's way is going to be different. And just because it's different ain't wrong. You know what I'm saying? As long as you keep your child, the best interest of your child in the forefront, and you lead them with love, it should guide you to the right way for you and your family. You know what I mean? You're never going to be perfect. You're not going to make all the wrong moves. Make all the right moves. You're going to make mistakes. You know what I mean? But then as long as you understand that it is about the child, it's not about you. It's not about, don't lead with anger when it comes to discipline. You know what I mean? Lead with love still when it comes to discipline. Everything when it comes to fatherhood, man. I just want to leave it at this. There is no right or wrong way. You just do it with love, with your child's best interest at heart, and you shouldn't go wrong.
There you go. All right, Nate.
Yeah, I want to add these 3 simple words. Take everything what Herm said, and then I will add these 3 words to it: live, love, laugh. That's it.
What'd you say? Live, love, and laugh?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. That's some good stuff. And let me add another one. Internet, brother. We got to get your internet together. We're going to do that. We're going to do that.
Is it mine, man?
Yeah, man.
I've been good, man.
Now, look, but you, bro, I'm so proud of you.
I've been good, man. I've been good. Like,
no. You've been good on yourself, but over here has been.
You be pausing.
You know what I'm saying? Anyway,
you need to get your Boost Mobile fixed. I told you to change your internet service, man. You using Boost Mobile or whatever.
No, man, you be in the most profound talk too. You be ready to say something deep, like love, and
bro.
Yeah, nobody knows what you said, dog. I mean, we don't know what happened,
bro.
I mean, you know
what? You know the crazy part is with that just a little bit off, make the whole thing trash, dog. Make the whole thing trash. Okay. Hey, go ahead, Corey, man. What you got, man? Final word, brother. You being in the end, man. What you think, bro?
Once again, God, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to talk to you guys, just to share a little bit of what I've been through. I can't thank you guys enough. And as men and ourselves, like I say, yes, we can't always be there, but to just pick up that phone and just make sure your kid's doing good, that they're not wanting for anything. They don't need anything. They just don't need to hear your voice for you can know that they're going through something. For the ones who don't have that relationship with their mamas or their baby daddies, don't stop that. Let that person be that parent, regardless if they're in the house or not. Let them be that man. Let them be a part of that kid life, because everything that's going on in this world today, they need that. We really need that. And like I say, thank you again, guys, for giving me the opportunity to share a little bit about Corey Jackson with you guys.
Already. No doubt. Well, look, let me get this last comment in from James. He says, if you're married with children, it's best when you're on the same page with the God discussion. There's so many belief systems from Christianity, Muslim, Buddhism, etc. Making sure you're both on one accord with how you're moving is important.
All right, man. Imagine how confused your kid is. One parent is a Muslim, another one is Buddhist. Bruh. You know what I mean? I don't know what the hell's going on.
Hey, well, listen. Hey, look. One thing, at least they eating good. I guess. I mean,
no, you can't eat pork.
But still,
I think Buddhism, you gotta be a vegetarian.
You
how they eating good? Because you can't kill nothing, man. You can't harm no animal or nothing like that. So,
man, shut up. You don't know.
Man, look it up, dog. All they do is drink tea and eat grass, dog. That's all they do.
You're so stupid. Oh my God. Anyway, y'all, listen. Look, my last word. First of all, Corey, man, appreciate you being the old man and being so transparent. We appreciate it, and I'm sure the audience did. Audience, if y'all can dig it, give us a hashtag. I can dig it if y'all enjoyed this show, right? And again, just to talk about fatherhood. Fatherhood is different. Right, kids don't come with instruction manuals, right? You don't know what you're doing, right? And then you're still learning. And I think the most important part is with everything, loving and communicating from the right space. You understand? Not to bring the old issues that you dealt with into your child's life. You know why? Because they didn't ask to be here. You understand what I'm saying? So give them the best that you can. They deserve the best version of you. All right. They do. They did not ask to be here. So give them what they need and what they require. Remove yourself. Remove the issue between you and your baby mama. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy as she just might be. It's not your child's fault. Or on the flip side, right? The baby daddy, whatever the case it is, the kids are the most important thing right now because they are our futures. And then we can't be surprised when things go disarray, when we're not, giving them the things that they need. So we appreciate y'all for being here, tuning in to another episodes of the Lions Den. Corey, don't go nowhere, man. But anyway, we're going to see y'all next week. We did good.
Yes, indeed.
Good. Right on. Later.